There's a certain kind of exhaustion that comes from being at war with yourself. It's not the tiredness you feel after a long day of work. It's a deeper, soul-level fatigue. It's the constant, quiet hum of anxiety in the background of your life. It's that feeling of being pulled in two different directions at once, a relentless inner tug of war that leaves you feeling stuck and so often alone in the struggle. We're told in so many ways that these feelings of anxiety, of inner conflict, are a problem to be solved, a disorder to be medicated, a malfunction to be fixed. We start to believe that something is fundamentally wrong with us for feeling this way. But what if that isn't the whole story? What if that persistent anxiety, that deep inner conflict, wasn't a sign that you are broken, but a sign that something vital within you is trying to be heard? The great Swiss thinker Carl Jung had a truly profound way of looking at this. He saw that these struggles, which he sometimes called neurosis, were not just random suffering. He saw them as a desperate, often painful communication from the deepest parts of ourselves, a signal from your soul trying to get your attention. It's like a smoke alarm in your home. The sound is jarring, unpleasant, impossible to ignore. You wouldn't just get angry at the alarm and try to smash it. You would know instantly that its painful noise is a message pointing to a deeper problem. It's telling you there's a fire somewhere that needs your attention. In the same way, that persistent anxiety or inner conflict is the alarm. It's loud, it's uncomfortable, and it's demanding your attention because somewhere in the house of your own being, a fire is burning. And that fire, so often, is the fire of an unlived life. It's the part of you that you've had to push aside to survive, to fit in, to be loved, or to feel safe. Think about it for a moment. How many of us, in the process of growing up and building a life, have had to put certain parts of ourselves away? Perhaps it was a creative passion that seemed impractical, a deep-seated value that didn't fit with our family or our job, a quiet, intuitive way of being in a world that demands noise and speed. We build a life that looks right. We play the part we believe we are supposed to play. But the whole while, that truer, deeper self, the person we were born to become, is still there, waiting. And the tension between the life you're living and the life that is calling to you from within, that tension creates the conflict. It generates the anxiety. It's your soul knocking on the door of your conscious mind saying, "Please, don't forget about me." Jung once wrote something that stops me in my tracks every time I read it. Neurosis is always a substitute for legitimate suffering. What an incredible thought. Let's sit with that for a moment. A substitute for legitimate suffering. What he means is that the constant humming, directionless pain of anxiety is often what we choose unconsciously instead of facing the real, purposeful pain of growing and changing. The legitimate suffering is the hard work. It's the courage it takes to look honestly at your life and ask, is this truly me? It's the grief of letting go of a dream that was never really yours. It's the vulnerability of showing someone your true self without the mask. It's the difficult, messy, beautiful process of becoming whole. That work is hard. It is a form of suffering, but it is legitimate because it leads somewhere. It leads to more life, more authenticity, more you. The anxiety, on the other hand, is a holding pattern. It's the pain of staying stuck. It keeps us in a loop of suffering that leads nowhere, all to avoid the sacred, transformative work our soul is asking of us. So if this feeling is a message, how do we begin to listen? It doesn't happen by fighting the anxiety. Pushing it away only makes the alarm scream louder. Instead, it begins with a subtle shift in posture, a turning towards instead of a turning away. It's about creating small pockets of quiet in your life and gently asking the feeling, without judgment, what are you trying to tell me? You don't need a grand plan. You just need a moment of curiosity. Maybe it's journaling for 5 minutes before you sleep, just letting whatever is inside you spill onto the page. Maybe it's noticing what you dream about. Dreams are like letters from the deep unconscious parts of yourself. Maybe it's paying attention to the small things that bring a flicker of joy or a pang of longing. That's your inner compass, trying to show you the way. This journey is not about finding a magic cure to eliminate the conflict. It's about learning to hold the tension. It's about understanding that the conflict itself is the very energy of transformation. It's the friction that creates the heat needed for something new to be forged within you. The part of you that is anxious and the part of you that wants to grow are not enemies. They are partners in a sacred dance. The anxiety is the guardian at the gate, pointing toward the treasure. And the treasure is a more complete, more honest, more authentic version of you. So if you are feeling that inner turmoil, that deep unease, please know you are not broken. You are not malfunctioning. In fact, it may be a sign that your soul is very much alive and it is calling you forward into a bigger life. The path isn't easy, but it is the most worthwhile journey we can ever take. It is the journey home to ourselves. I wonder, what is one small way you could listen to that quiet voice inside, even just for a moment this week? I would be so honored to read your thoughts in the comments below. It's a space for us to share and learn from one another. Thank you for sharing this quiet moment with me. Remember to be kind to yourself on the path. You are navigating something profound. May your journey inward bring you light. Until we meet again.